All right, guys, we are in week 4 now, update number 2. Um, this week is not nearly as fun as last week. Last week I had sound and catapults and cut screens and all that good stuff. This week, refactoring, frustration, complicated code patterns, all that good stuff. Um, let's just go through. I mean, there are some positives that came out of it, but we'll just go through. Uh, First, what you're looking at. I'm working in a workspace now that has pod files. Just getting that up and running. I've also got Package Manager, which is a great plugin running. If you click on it, you can different themes for Xcode, all that good stuff. You can see the to-do list came from there. Um, and then if we run the project up here, I mean, some things that are great, the timer, awesome tutorial that I'll link to in the article just on skcropnode and how that works. The waves are actually synced to the timer now, so the communication between the heads-up display and the wave generation, that's working. Both of these guys engaged their proper target. Now this is where things start to get bad. So here we go. We have combat. They each picked the correct target to attack, which is good. They didn't both team up on one guy and let the other guy through. They both, when there's one target, they assist. When there's two targets, they split up and attack. The other than what I wanted to play with was formations, because I don't just want skirmishers. I want formations too. So here we have a wave of a formation coming. The good news is they actually walk together and have a like mind. Here, the combat is messed up for that same reason. They didn't attack two separate targets because of that. The formation has ranks. Each rank has an array of units in that rank. And if one unit dies, the next unit needs to walk up and take its place. It's like a separate concept behind the scenes. And then, so my goal starting out the week was that I should have melee combat working and formations working and movement working. Really, the only goal of those that I'm comfortable with is movement. If we come back to our plist file here for wave 1, let's change it to 20 units and rerun the app. They come out slightly different spacing. There's a variation to their height. Even if they're on the same row, they might be 16 pixels up or below. Here, it's actually easier for you to see if we turn physics off. You'll notice like their walk animation cycle isn't, they're not all on the exact same animation cycle anymore. They come out kind of grouped, kind of spaced, but still on a predictable path where the game mechanics will work around it. So that's the cool part. Individual unit formations following waypoints, moving from waypoint to waypoint. That whole system, rock solid. I'm happy with it. It even goes for the formation too. The formation will properly move. The first unit will go, then turn. Then the second row will move to where the first row was, turn. Instead of like being a block that shifts, it turns and goes. That's the part I like. And then combat started to make everything tricky. The problem with combat was that I got it all working, all kind of just proof of concept, and the code was horribly ugly. And then I refactored and refactored, which led to then reading about finite state machines, which led to trying to write my own to understand the concept. And now I'm left with even more questions. I feel like I kind of know where to go, but I'm still a bit, unsure. I understand the concept of, so we have a soldier and his behavior. Every frame that runs, if he's in the waiting stage, he's going to run the waiting behavior. In this case, it's scan for targets to attack, which is great. When he decides to attack someone, he finds that node, and he stores a pointer to that node. The target, self.target equals this new target. And the crappy part about that is that it feels dirty holding on to something and telling it what to do. Self.target, do damage with amount. Self.target, add myself to your attack array. Like that, it shouldn't be one target telling the other what to do. It should be someone recognizing what's happening and responding or acting accordingly based on their state. And that everything works except for the concept of who's attacking me. I feel like for me to know, I'm a unit, how do I know who's attacking me? I can, scan who's in X pixels of me, and then of those people, loop over them and see who has me as a target. Or I can just, when someone engages me, they can notify me, hey, I'm engaging you. Which it makes this dependency on, if everyone doesn't engage you properly and tell you they're engaging you, there will be a bug. So all over the code, all the unit types, they have this code that says, I have to engage you. And I don't know. Me and Chris talk about like just these concepts all the time, and it goes down this spaghetti path of like, okay, that works, but what about if we involve that's great that you engage me, but I don't want to react to you until I'm finished doing my current action. I'm swinging a sword, I'm engaging someone else. You can engage me, and that's great. I'll add you to my array of attackers, but I don't want to do anything with you until I'm done my current action, which might be 20 frames down the road. So how do you handle that? It's just, I think everything individually, I understand like conceptually when reading books what they're trying to say, but in practice, I'm still struggling putting the rules of, in code, what should be an object, what should be a service. That stuff is straightforward. What should go in the state machine? What should go in the character object? What should go into an artificial intelligence routine? That is still gray area to me. Like, should all logic of what I'm going to do myself be in the state machine? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I'm rambling. But the point of the rambling is that's the entirety of the week. What you saw with the wave maker and the movement, that was the first 3 days, and then the other 8 days were spent rewriting and trying to make a foundation that scales forever. One thing that does work, if you look over into my physics, this part's nice. A shape node is someone's range, basically, and if a soldier enters my range, I'm calling target in range, and that's we hit shape node contact visitor. The shape node is the object, and then all of these are who could visit the object. So like the physics portions, we've gotten rid of the if else of out of the main file into, if I want to listen to a physics event about myself, I just need to make a folder with my object type, a file, and then put in the proper function for what I actually want to listen to. So it's not too interesting this week to talk about, the code that isn't working, but I think it's a good point is to just see that that's the reality of game development. It's not easy. I mean, week one, it was easy to make something animate or make something move, but to actually make things independent and scalable is hard. But I look forward to getting to the point where we have a foundation to work with, and adding new people is fun, and adding new special abilities because I know the code pattern to follow. That's about it for this week, though. I hope that I have some more visual goodness to show you next time around. But yeah, I will see you in 2 weeks.